Wait, why are you
previously beforehand? I've actually already clarified this. You have a tracking issue. You don't fully understand about ontology, so I don't care to discuss with you about it. That's why. You've already clarified that you don't hold onto an affirmed position in it, so there's no use of talking about it with you if you just don't hold onto an affirmed position in it. There's no motivation for me to do such. There's not a position to discuss if you don't have one, so I'm going to ask about your position in epistemology, which I'm assuming you're like a feminist epistemological. So I'm assuming, right? Do you know what that means?
Epistemology?
No. Like, listen. Do you know what feminist epistemology is?
No, I haven't heard of it. What is it?
Okay. Well, this is just saying that knowledge is influenced by gender, social position, power dynamics, or traditional epistemology that often reflects on male-dominated perspectives. Do you agree with this?
Wait, with what?
With what? What do you mean with what?
Wait, I don't get it.
When you say with, this is referring to some kind of conjunctive relation. So what are you saying with what? What is the initial connective?
Yeah, like with what you said.
With what I said?
Yeah, with what
you
said.
You're this is implying that there's a motivation for something to go with what I said, as if what I said if it in itself isn't sufficient. So what would the motivation for something to go along with what I'm saying?
No, you just said a motivator, but there's no motivator within that statement. That's actually an implication.
There's no motivator within the statement that there's no motivator? I can explain the motivation behind it. I agree there's nothing that's just inherently within such a statement.
Motivator statement. I'm saying that
Pardon?
You're stating a motivator statement.
There's no such thing as a motivator statement, by the way. What do you think a motivator statement is?
You just asked that. You were just implying that.
That's actually not what I asked. And how did I ask something and imply it?
You asked, sure,
I asked it and implied it? Sure. That doesn't seem to be or make sense. So what do you think a motivator statement is?
Yeah, I totally never said that.
Wait, so do you lie like this normally?
Okay, so
no. Actually, I'm going to hold you on to that because it's just very funny. I'm not going to let you stray away from that. So a motivator statement, that's what you're referring to? So what exactly do you think a motivator statement is? And actually, let me lower my mic since there's other people in the VC. I'd hope that you're no longer going to try to overtalk me. So I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. What do you think a motivator statement is?
Okay, so you might be getting sidetracked. So
you're saying that I'm getting sidetracked, but actually, I think I'm directly addressing what you're saying. What do you think a motivator statement is? The reason why it's relevant. Wait. You're trying to overtalk me again, and I don't want to raise my mic up. So let me just respond and let me explain for a second.
The
reason why I'm saying that it's a motivator. Okay, I guess we're going to have to do this. And this is the reason why, by the way, for people who just newly joined the VC, this is why, because they don't know how to properly have a conversation without overtalking. Now, what I was referencing earlier, and the reason why I was referencing a motivator statement is because previously you said that I made a motivator statement and that there's no motivation for the statement that I previously had made, which the only statement that was previous to that statement was that there was no motivation. So it would appear that you're referring to that there's no motivation within the proposition, there's no motivator statement, which is very confusing because I actually don't think that holds any relevance to about my position.
Epistemological feminist or something?
Pardon?
Yeah, your motivator statement was something about feminist epistemology.
That's actually not my motivator statement.
No, that is
the entire reason why I brought up feminist epistemology. The reason why you're trying to overtalk me is because you know I'm right. It's okay. But the reason why I was referencing the epistemology of a feminist is because I was asking if you were one. So this is a question that's actually not a proposition because questions cannot be propositions. So there is no truth bearer about that. That's not what a truth bearer is. A question cannot be a truth bearer, nor is there no truth condition to such. So this makes me question why there would need to be some type of motivator as if there was a conclusion to come from the question. When the conclusion is completely up to you because you're the one who's supposed to respond to it.
Yikes. You're getting hung up on the...
It's okay. You can say I'm getting hung up and you can make stupid statements, but this is directly going about what you're saying. Because the main point of topic here is whether you're a feminist. Whether you're a feminist epistemologist.
Motivator. What the fuck is a motivator, Archi?
You don't know what a motivator is?
No, you're the one who said a motivator is. What the fuck is a motivator?
What are you referring to? Okay, so a motivator, it's just going to be a concise positive or inspiring declaration designed to encourage action, resilience, or focus. That's all a motivator is.
Declaration? What the fuck?
Yeah. Do you know what a declaration is?
No, I don't.
So that's just a declarative statement that's affirmative, otherwise known as a truth bearer. Confusing, I know.
Declaration. You can just say people speaking.
I could, but I didn't, and that also has nothing to do with what I'm saying because that refers to the semantic of the usage I use, and unless you're saying that that was grammatically inaccurate, to which it isn't, that actually does not disprove my statement. So it would seem what you're focusing on is not the substance of what I said, but what it seems is the wording of what I said, which would only be relevant if the wording was wrong, but the wording is in fact not wrong. So would you actually address what I'm saying, or what?
You're spurging out.
You can say I'm spurging out, but what I'm saying is perfectly clear, and what I'm saying is just a simple request. Can you respond to what I'm saying?
And that's why you respond every second that I'm talking. Exactly.
Yeah, because I just responded every second that you just spoke. That makes sense. Now, do you want to respond now or what?
My point proven. Okay, so what was your initial, like, what did you want to talk about?
Because so, yeah, you're clearly confused. So I'm just going to clarify again, because this is for some reason is a recurring thing to where you ask what I'm talking about, even after you claim that you know what I'm talking about for some reason. Are you a feminist epistemologist?
What? No.
Do you believe? Okay, cool. That's all I was going to ask. So if not, what kind of epistemology do you believe in?
Side tangent was about that question?
Well, yes, I know. You can prove how much you can't track. It, in fact, was. No, for some reason, you gave a furthermore response that lead past the conversation.
Holy shit.
For some reason. Now, do you actually have an epistemological framework or no?
Epistemological framework for what?
For epistemology, my friend.
Yeah. An epistemological framework for epistemology.
Like, what are you talking about? Yes, we generally use frameworks to evaluate how knowledge is acquired. Do you know what epistemology is?
You do know that the framework is within a scope, correct?
Yeah, sure. There's nothing wrong with that. So what's the relevance? Because that also is not a commitment that I have to hold in order for me to, or that's not a commitment I have to disagree with for my statement to make sense. That statement can be true while I'm also completely fine. That actually has nothing to do with what I asked. Unfortunately for you. What, are you like looking it up or are you like confused right now?
No.
Actually, what do you even think epistemology is?
Again, when I asked for the scope of your framework, you ignored it.
What the fuck is your mic, bro?
Like straight buns.
Like, holy shit. Oh, goodness. Like, I feel like what I'm saying isn't very confusing, but that's completely fine. They probably are using ChatGPT, which is why their responses are like correct, but just not actual disagreements with what I'm saying.
I even do that in a live VC.
Like, this is just so embarrassing. A 40-man VC watching you forward on the question, what's your epistemological framework? That's very embarrassing.
And he didn't give a scope.
Well, as I mentioned previously, I definitely did give a scope. I mean, there are definitely there are many different scopes. Like, what do you even think? What do you even think a scope is?
No, you never give.
Because when I think of a scope, when I reference a scope, I'm just thinking a scope is such a framework that refers to like,
you know what?
Like the breadth of their application. If you don't give me
what your scope
like
is,
what questions they address. If you're referring to like that, then I would just say the nature of knowledge, obviously. But that's just something that's a natural commitment of what I initially said. That's why your question seems confusing.
No, that's not a scope. The scope is a conditional under your framework.
Pardon?
It's a conditional under your framework. So the scope implies...
That's completely okay. And you understand that each individual framework breaks it down and has their own individual scopes, or that certain frameworks can follow different scopes. So what you're saying still doesn't fully matter.
I'm literally done with the sophistry.
You can say that it's sophistry all you want, but what I'm saying makes complete sense. I mean, obviously, when we take epistemology, we're going to be referring to the study of knowledge, which is just in reference to its nature, its sources, its limitations, its specific kind of scope. Obviously, that's going to depend on what you mean by what a scope is, because naturally, I would say the nature of foundation and the nature of knowledge. And I would say that it's dependent on exactly what kind of epistemology you believe in. Like, obviously, if you're an empiricist, that's going to differ from a rationalist, duh. But before I even ask that, though, we're going to have to understand what exactly kind of theory you follow in. Like, this isn't something that's sophistry. This isn't something that's ratty. This isn't something that's very confusing. This is something that I think anyone who's just read a little bit on can answer. Did they just leave? What? And they went offline?
I told you they were ass, but...
What the frick? What the frick, dude? Hey, yo, bro.
Yeah, just watch.
What the flip, bro?
Quark just get raped. This is sad.
And the thing is, wait, Shiki, hate watch for me. Was I saying anything confusing?
A little bit at the end, yeah. You like made the claim that what's it called? You actually did give her a scope, and you actually didn't fucking give her a scope, but you know, that was the only like mistake there, you know. But
bro, what do you think a scope would be? Like, give an example of a scope.
It's like the difference between like empiricism and rationalism. Imagine like you put the scope around that. That's what she's
Wi-Fi.
probably asking for.
Hey, my Wi-Fi. Wait, what did you say?
Imagine like imagine like the difference between empiricism and rationalism, like that little debate there. Like if you want to ask your view on that thing, you should probably say, okay, yeah, what's your view on empiricism versus rationalism? She probably would have answered. But like that was the only confusing thing.
No, I'm asking. Give an example of a scope, because I had asked them to clarify what they meant, and their own term of what they think a scope is. That's not something that was disagreeable.
Oh wait, are you asking me to give you an example of a scope that they named, or a scope that named it?
How would you answer that question? Because I feel like I answered it fine.
No, they didn't give that, but that's just what they meant probably. But she was like, I don't know, being pedantic.
I know she was being vague. That's the whole
What is that in chat? I'm gonna get pissed off, bro. Who is that, bro?
Wait, listen. Give an example. How would you answer such a question?
She's like, okay, what kind of scope it is? I'd probably say okay, I gotta put over to theology, for example, because I don't study epistemology. Imagine like you're asking like about the problem of evil. Like imagine like you're asking for views on theology, and it's like, oh, what the hell? Like what specific scope in theology? And then you're gonna say, okay, yeah, I'm just referencing like God's existence, or I'm just referencing like the problem of evil, or I'm just referencing Trinitarianism. Like there's like a couple things there. That's what she's probably asking for.
Bro, my Wi-Fi just cut out again, but I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I was asking them, what's it called, about the justification of beliefs. Like I had referenced the nature of knowledge and the justification of beliefs.
Oh shit.
That's why I told them. Like I literally said, yeah, like I labeled it, and then they kept calling me a sophist for that, even though I feel like my questions. Wait, let me lower my mic. I don't know why. Even though I was like asking them, I was clarifying pretty. Like I'd say I gave pretty good clarification.
Yeah, if you're asking for what's it called, their beliefs on like how we form beliefs and the validity of beliefs, I mean, yeah, like that'll be like specifying a motoscope, then not a motoscope, just like a scope in general. Then yeah, you'd probably be right. But
that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like so confused why they left. I was like,
I guess, bro.
I don't know, bro.